Hello and welcome wherever you're watching from in the world. This is Chemical Knowledge Hub TV and I'm Jo Pickard. We are dedicated to bringing you interviews with the industry's finest. IMCD is a leading company in sales, marketing and distribution of specialty chemicals and food ingredients focused on chemistry in healthcare. And today it's my pleasure to talk to Technical Director at IMCD Group. It is Dr. Alen Guy. Dr. Alen, great to see you.
Yeah, great to see you too. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Fantastic. You're over in Germany at the moment, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. I moved over here a couple of years ago, not long after we'd actually put in one of our newest technical centres, and yeah, I kind of fell for the country a little bit. I've been working in and out of it, and Cologne's a great city, so yeah, it was a good move for me to make here.
Oh, Cologne is a great city, one of the best, I tell you that for nothing. So can you just expand a little bit on what IMCD is currently doing?
Yeah, one of the things that we've really tried to do over the course of the last number of years, and really becoming almost not perfecting, but certainly specializing, is becoming more of a solution provider, becoming more of a partner to our customers. Certainly, we break the mold, I think, in relation to the distribution segment. So, from the healthcare standpoint, the business group pharma, the one that I'm involved with, is very much engaged with all of the component parts of bringing medicines and supplements and ingredients to the customer base, our suppliers and manufacturers. But really trying to encompass a lot of the current trends. So we're thinking about healthcare in relation to how a dosage form is made, or how it might be taken by a young patient, and various elements relating to customer trends. So healthcare is a key. We have areas of active ingredients, we have areas of the inactive ingredients, we have specialists in sustainable chemistry, green chemistry, and such like, that really take a big active part to play in providing solutions using our technical expertise and mostly our people. Yeah, we're very much a people-oriented organization.
Um, so talking about finding solutions, now we're all in the middle of the same pandemic at the moment. COVID-19, of course, it doesn't really need to be named at the moment. Um, how has that been? How has the company been impacted by that? And do you see the way that you work and that you source in changing in the future?
Oh, that's a big question. One of the things I know from yeah, one of the things I know from the culture of IMCD is, in reality, I think I've hardly seen any specific change in the way in which we operate or function. Clearly, from the political side and the personal safety side, we put our people number one. We have to keep them safe. They are our asset. They are our family, if you like, in many respects. I have to say that from a personal standpoint. So, they have been working these years with a set of values. That value includes, say, freedom to act, entrepreneurialism, and. So you could argue that in reality, this COVID-19 tragedy in many respects has even further highlighted that our culture was already ready to be able to cope with the situation as it's arisen. So working from home has clearly been key. Being able to undertake more of the digital connection to our customers, and also recognizing in reality that we work in areas that are still essential to the ongoing sort of life, yeah, whether that's in food, in personal care, home care and I&I, so sort of the detergents area, and of course my speciality, the pharmaceutical area, is maintained as an essential service. We're a big part of that chain of materials to our customers, and obviously to the end user of those products, whether that's a patient or a person at home, or indeed somebody teaching their children. They may need resources and things. So the culture hasn't been affected. We've always had this open very transparent, very close to the customer approach. And we've obviously had to adapt with the technology needs that have allowed us to do that. But we haven't been stuck in that zone of trying to figure out, well, how do we do this? Well, we were already doing so many of those things.
It's great to hear that you're such a forward-thinking company, and I'm really pleased that you touched on technology at the end of that. Of course, using technology now to be able to have this conversation.
Yeah, right.
How is IMCD adapting to the new normality in terms of technology and using digital in your day-to-day business?
Well, I think it's clear. You know, first and foremost, the need for the technology was born out of the fact that we put the health and safety of our employees first, and you know, the fact that we've got also some essential support services, we've been able to kind of keep business going. You know, so this IMCD Open for Business concept and need, in fact, has been met by being able to work either in cleverly with maintaining social and physical distancing. I agree with one of our board members that it's not really social distancing. We're very social in this. We're maintaining that social content and connection as much as we can through Teams. But we've also been able to maintain, where possible, laboratory services and expertise connecting to the customers. I could give anecdotes on how some of our customers have been working as well when they've been working from home. They've been receiving samples, they've been receiving things so that they can at least continue to sustain their business. And that's our key here, is what can we do with our technology to sustain our customers' business and keep them producing for you know, the general population, the public. And that's, you know, just taking advantage of everything that we have. I'm sure that IT organizations have expanded and strengthened their delivery services, but it needs people who really enjoy talking and communicating to make that work. Otherwise, all our screens would be off and nobody would be caring. But no, we've been able to do a lot of remote learning. We've been able to ensure that customers can see what we can do for them and keep them moving forward. Is it a new normal? Well, it might help reduce some of my travel constraints, but I think it'll be a great supplement, I think, moving forward, even after this event has moved on, because our audience changes. I think the audience, as they get younger, everybody's getting younger in comparison to me at the moment, so that's fine. They will want to access this, and we have to be able to adapt and move forward. But I've seen some fantastic examples across the whole organization of connecting, whether that is people in partner organizations working from their kitchen to help customers in their food labs, and the same for ourselves in our laboratories to our customers. Long answer, I'm sorry. I wanted to really give that one some fair treatment. It's been a big topic for everyone.
It's great, and it deserves a fair treatment as well. And I think you're completely right on the side of the social side of things. I feel like I'm more social now than I ever have been.
Kind of weird, but yes, it has been that way. Sorry.
It's okay. So at the end of 2019, IMCD announced the expansion of its global network of pharmaceutical technical centres with the opening of 3 new locations in Asia Pacific. Congratulations. Can you tell us a little bit more?
Well, that's something that I'm extremely proud of, not for myself, but for the team that executed and delivered that. That was a substantial investment for IMCD, and it was also a substantial investment in faith and belief in that team in Asia Pacific as well. I've put together 2 labs here in Europe for IMCD, and I understand the impact both on the personal side, but also the expression you can have. And one of the things that we felt that did already was really add a lot of horsepower, if you like, to the people there. We've got great people in Asia Pacific. And you know, a couple of my most experienced technical team members are out there, and they were really hungry to get their hands on the equipment. They wanted to be able to give more to the customers. And this is what the set of centers is able to do. It's a very diverse market in the Asia Pacific region. I've got one lab that can run Cologne, and I've got another lab in the US that can run most of the North American activity. But in Asia, you've got so many diverse medical approaches, whether that's the classic pharma or the Chinese traditional medicines, and. So you need that diversity and you need that input. And these three centers have been able to do that, to not only support the regional area on specialized areas like topicals or nutraceutical formulations, but really give people a lot of local access to training, rather than centralizing it all in some big hub in Germany, such as with us, is really being able to put that learning, that development into the hands of our experts there. And that was a big jump for us. And we've obviously been able to align that with our other laboratory services as well in those locations.
That's fantastic. So we're kind of drawing to a close, but what I would like to touch on just before, if that's okay, is kind of looking forward. So in some of the talks today, it's been quite obvious that the supply chain for certain things, especially in pharma, may well need to change in the future, and to become less dependent maybe on receiving from China or different Asian countries. I don't know whether that is the same for you guys, but can you see any changes moving forward in the pharmaceutical industry post-COVID?
Well, I mean, looking into the crystal ball of that one is a phrase an old colleague of mine used in something like 2001. And it's a very interesting concept for anybody in the pharmaceutical industry, because we work on such long timelines. Yeah, it's almost glacial in the way in which we move. Making no other comments about COVID-19 cures at this point. COVID-19, the coronavirus impact is one disease. It's not one disease state, but it's one disease problem that has been exacerbated by underlying conditions or other elements. That has obviously lent itself to saying, well, okay, how are our supply chains going to be affected moving forward? There's a lot of money been invested in a number of areas in those countries you mentioned. And a lot of countries have invested in receiving those goods. So things don't change overnight in the pharma industry. That's one thing is for sure. But one of the things that I can say is that we as IMCD have got our supply chain experts. We've got our product management teams that they are on that topic on a daily basis. So they are there to ensure those supply chains remain secure and trackable and traceable. And this is also a key part of the quality and regulatory side. So I think nothing in that chain is something that we should be overly concerned with from a standpoint of IMCD and our customers. We've got a very secure program to ensure that the quality stays high. Looking forward, reading the trade press. So I'm going to say nothing on a personal level, but reading the trade press, you see different ideas about being able to move portions of that supply chain or that manufacturing chain into other locations to secure that. But that has been a long-standing premise for a number of companies that we work with. It's always this: where's the second source? How do we secure this? Risk mitigation is a big part of the pharmaceutical industry already. I think one thing that I would probably say could change more after this isn't necessarily wholesale movement of the supply of actives or raw materials, but probably a greater degree of interest in those things where it's already traumatic and quite devastating for patients. These underlying conditions, they've been there for a long time. And those treatments and those care regimens will probably see more focus and interest. I refer to a colleague of mine who was interviewed recently on the nutraceutical side, this heightened interest in immunity products or other things for well-being, general well-being and health, so that we can better resist, if you like, the unfortunate conditions that can come in the event of such a situation such as COVID. But yeah, I think these supply chains will always be explored. They have been for the 20 years that I've been with the pharmaceutical industry. The main thing is control, understanding, regulatory paperwork, and those elements. They're the things that we really focus on.
Fantastic. Well, hopefully we can all work to improve our health a little bit more. It's been fantastic to talk to you. Thank you so much, Dr. Alen, for giving us your time today, and stay safe over there in Germany, and thank you very, very much.
Indeed, thank you for your time. It's been really nice to meet you and speak to you today, and yeah, very much so. Stay safe and healthy. Thank you.